So I have managed to successfully get the camera off Lexi, and Stacey's just got on board. We are in the rain. It's not too bad at the moment. Pammy would be not so happy with me knowing that actually I done what I done on the academy and brought my short stirrup leathers, so Stacey looks a little bit like a show jumper today rather than a dressage rider. Hopefully that's not going to cause any problems.
So Stacey hasn't ridden for over 6 months now due to having a baby. So she just warmed Flint up quietly, worked him through the paces just to see what was what.
So the feedback from the warm-up was that Flint didn't feel completely equal down both reins. He had a tendency to lean on the left, which is something I hadn't been noticing myself. So she worked quietly with this before moving on to the walk pirouettes. The walk pirouettes are something that I've been struggling with. I'd had a tendency to overthink and rush Flint through the exercise. So she just worked quietly on some large pirouettes, just teaching him to keep his rhythm, keep his balance, and just work nicely through them. Pretty chuffed with how he took everything on board, and done a really great job.
So the issues Stacey found with the walk pirouettes were just that he wasn't supple through the rib cage, so she just worked him quietly on some travers on the circle and along the long side to improve this. Then came the fun part, changes! Well, to say that you haven't ridden a horse for 6 months and it's been trained by a bit of a plonker, aka me, I think Stacey done an amazing job. Look at him go. But it wasn't all plain sailing. There was a few hiccups along the way. But he soon grasped the concept, knuckled down and gave it his all. So Stacey found that Flint had become a little bit overreactive to the leg in the changes, which isn't a bad thing, but it was time to start winding him down, so she done so by just taking him back to some exercises that he knew and understood, just to make sure she could get her leg back on him.
It went really well. So we've still got straightness issues, suppleness issues, which I thought had got, well, they are a lot better, but Stacey is saying that they are still there, so she's worked on those a bit, given me some exercises to do, lots of homework to practice, for the pirouettes at least. I've decided that I'm going to leave the changes alone for a little while, just because the lesson was so positive with Stacey. He tried on the aid every time for something. It might not have always been clean, but on his bad side, which I really struggled to get him to even try and change sometimes, he just blanks me. She got something out of him, and a couple of times they were clean. So I think that, yeah, it's definitely a communication error between me and Flynn, and I think that actually it would be much better for Stacey to get a clearer aid for him that he understands and is accepting of, and then I can sort of take that forward. So really, really positive. I'm really pleased, and let's see what the future holds.